Hello, welcome to the weather update. It is 11 o'clock, October 27th, and we're finally done with this storm. It's finally out of here, and we're clearing the clouds out finally as well. It looks like Long Island, the clouds have cleared out, though we still have some clouds hanging on in New Jersey with that northeast wind. Sometimes we see that. We'll look at some of the models in a little bit, but just showing you we had an overcast day today, a fairly cloudy day, just a cloudy, blustery kind of day. Temperatures only in the upper 50s. Skies did clear out as we got toward the evening, and some really like fall-like looking skies there to look at. Let's talk about what's going to happen there in the Cape here. They're still getting some light rain over there, and they're still dealing with these power outages in Massachusetts. It is down to 391,044. Very few customers. Let's see, they really haven't restored a whole lot of people. Let's see, well, they're down to 61% of people out. Plymouth, they're down to still 76% of people out. So there's a lot of damage to clear up there from all this wind that they experienced. Looking at the Eversource outage map, you could see it's just all over the Cape. We can look at some of the towns on the Cape and see, for instance, like Barnstable Township, still 70% of people out in Barnstable still. Bourne almost completely out, 95% out. Yeah, let me make this. I know you're not gonna be able to see this. Make this a little smaller here. Let's see what other outages you have here that are very large. Chatham, 64% of people out there. Chilmark, almost completely out at this point. Duxbury, 92% out. 100% of Easton out. Only 5 customers there, though. Falmouth, look at that, Falmouth. 22,000, almost 86% of Falmouth out. So you have entire towns that are completely in the dark on the Cape. Which is not surprising considering these winds. Marion also 98% out. Mattapoisett, some of these are in eastern Massachusetts too. In Plymouth County, 72% out. 100% of Middleborough. Some of these areas hardly have any customers though. Orleans, 65% of Orleans on the Cape is out. Pembroke, almost completely out. Plimpton, completely out. Rochester, more or less completely out. Scutate, completely out. Let's see what other towns you have here. Wareham, 75% of that out. Wellfleet now, at least they've gotten the power back to about half of Wellfleet. What about Plymouth, Provincetown? All right, so they've restored power to Provincetown, only 17% out. Surprisingly. So that means that the transmission system probably did hold up. It's all on the distribution end of things. There, at least the transmission system held up, but the distribution system, on the other hand, has a lot of issues. And we're going to go to the Twitter for Eversource because there are some pictures of the damage that has occurred here. And you will see here wind gusts as high as 95 miles an hour on the Cape. Look at this. So there's some of the flooding and wires down. Another tree down. Let me do some oak trees here. There you go. Pole down. So they're obviously sending a lot of power crews there. Here's a picture of them working on an oak tree. See, the pines are just fine. It's the oaks that have issues. Here's a power line that's down. Well, that's not. Let's see. We got here Cape Cod Chronicle. There's another. Let's look at this one here. Large tree down in front of Victorian. Let's see. So Eversource saying could take 2 to 3 days to restore power. Some video of the storm, the scenes from Harwich and Orleans. Lots of trees down. Here's another one. Trees down everywhere, but very few of them are pines. Almost entirely oaks. They are using a generator to run the traffic lights in some of these areas. A lot of buildings and facilities are closed because there's no power. Schools are closed again for tomorrow, by the way, out there. Yeah, pretty substantial storm. We still have more pictures here from Eversource. Let's scroll up here because they have more. Here's some more of the restoration work that they're doing. So again, they're getting the trees off these wires. It's interesting that almost all the trees here that I'm seeing are not pine trees. Isn't that interesting? That's very interesting. Again, it's the oaks that seem to fail them more. But they have some oaks there, too. I mean, some of the areas that are entirely pines, the power came back pretty quick, but the areas that have more of an oak mix, they're taking a little longer because there's just more trees to clean up. You know, and like I say, this is incredible to see these damage reports. Let's see if we can get some updated wind gust reports here from the. Let's see if they've. Nah, this is the same one we have from earlier that I read to you. Let's see storm damage reports. I believe this is the same one. All right, this one is updated. All right, so this is some of the storm damage reports from out there. And again, large trees down on power lines, lots of wind gusts. I would like to see if that 107, for whatever reason, they're not including that 107 mile an hour wind gust that occurred at Truno, or whatever. I don't see that here. But that was impressive. I mean, very impressive wind gusts from this storm. And it's one thing if it's the middle of the winter. I'm just going to scroll through this. There's just tons of wind gusts here, wind gust reports here that you can look at. Way too many to read through. I'll put the link in the description below. But again, really impressive. All these wind gusts. I mean, it's pretty much like they hit a hurricane there at this point. Pretty much a Category 1 hurricane, what they had. And almost sometimes some of the conditions might have been even borderline Category 2 hurricane. And all these trees and wires down. A plane was picked up by strong winds. There was some flooding as well. Ocean water inundated Route 6A, so there was some coastal flooding there as well with the storm surge. The thing, they have a very steep bluffs there. It's not flat like the south shore of Long Island, so that helps kind of mitigate the storm surge a little bit. But really impressive to see this. Really just a very impressive storm system to see. And I'll just see Cape Cod. I know we have, let's see, we have some more information here. Let's see, Eversource. They still have to do some assessing. They're getting more crews. Question is, were they prepared? Were they not? I mean, we'll see how long it takes to get the power back on. If they can get it back in 2 to 3 days, that's what I call an acceptable response. But if it goes beyond that, then it becomes a little more unacceptable. Yeah, really, I mean, just incredible. That's all I got to say. Incredible storm out there. Just really, really incredible. But let's look at the current conditions outside right now. And we have temperatures in the low 50s. We really didn't make it much out of the 50s today on Long Island with those really strong winds. And we had some wind gusts into the 40s and 50s. Like I said, we went over some of the stronger wind gusts that were out east, and we're still experiencing some breezy conditions out east. You see a 33 mile an hour wind gust there in Baiting Hollow, but generally dew points in the 40s, temperatures in the 50s. Similar for Jersey as well. So we're in the this nose of high pressure that is now building down. You see here on the models here. That is what's going to keep us dry for tomorrow before the next storm arrives, and that's going to start getting closer to our area on Friday, and that's going to be a Friday night into Saturday event. That's the next storm, and then behind that we have some fair weather, and then we start trying to get a little more progressive pattern. We try, but look, boom, another storm again. So it's just we just keep getting we can't seem to maintain fair weather for that long before we get yet another storm coming in. It's just an active pattern that we're in. So let's go, and it's not really all that unusual for this time of the year to see a lot of storminess. Let's go to the GFS, and you'll see tomorrow will be dry. That rain, GFS holds off the rain until after 8 o'clock generally. Then it's a steady, heavy rain. It's going to linger at least until part of Saturday. And then we start to dry it out Sunday into Monday. All right. Looking at our temperatures, as we head into tomorrow overnight, we're going to have lows in the 40s. And then temperatures tomorrow, it's cooler on Long Island. It has highs only in the upper 50s on Long Island, but low 60s in New Jersey. Could this indicate that the GFS is saying more cloud cover? This is the 18Z GFS run. Is it throwing more cloud cover over Long Island? And then for Friday, obviously, cooler with the cloud cover. Highs only in the upper 50s, perhaps a little warmer in New Jersey. And then Saturday, you see we get into that warm air. That gets us up into the mid-60s. But then that warm air is kind of pushed away as we're still dealing with a little bit on Sunday, mid-60s, and then by Monday, we're back in the low 60s again. Let's look at the dew points. You can see here, kind of see that moisture slug that's going to be coming in. So dry air. This kind of shows the wind direction. So we have northeast winds tomorrow. They become easterly tomorrow night. And then into Friday, we've got more of an easterly flow, freshening up. It will get a little gusty, not like what we had, but it'll be a little breezy Friday night and Saturday. Kind of a windswept rain. With those dew points coming up, perhaps as high as the upper 60s. So it'll be a little humid just briefly, and then we get rid of that humidity and it gets out of here. And then Sunday into Monday, we have that northwest flow coming back and just drier air. All right, so let's now go to the HRRR model. And we will look at the 0Z HRRR, and we will look at the precipitation. And we'll look at our next system. Obviously, tomorrow we are dry. Now, for the folks on the Cape, they're still going to be dealing with some of that moisture that's wrapping around the low. So they may be still dealing with more clouds, and that may throw more clouds out over the eastern part of Long Island as well. You can sort of see the high nosing down there, kind of in between systems for tomorrow. And then as we get into Friday, you'll start seeing some of that moisture start to try to make it toward us, though I think most of Friday will be dry. We won't really see the rain come in until probably after 8 o'clock, and then you start seeing these rain showers come in on Friday night. But I think Friday, at least most of the day, at least should be dry. Let's now go to the skies, and hopefully we can get, let me go to the GFS is low resolution. We can start with that one and then look at some of the other sky models. So you clearly see that nosing down. Here's tomorrow of the clear air over at least the western two-thirds of Long Island, New Jersey, and the Hudson Valley up into upstate New York. It's like a V almost. And then the clouds come right back in on us on Friday. And we'll be dealing with more cloudiness that day. Once we move past that, then we'll obviously have lots of clouds for the weekend with this storm. But hopefully we can clear that out on Monday and have a mostly sunny day on Monday before more clouds start arriving, perhaps. Well, Tuesday looks okay, but then certainly by Wednesday we'll be dealing with more clouds. So let's look at a higher resolution sky model. Let's go to the NAM here. And this is now the 0Z NAM. It's kind of like on why I wanted to wait, because I want to look at this 0Z NAM. I don't normally do my weather update more like 10 o'clock, but see tomorrow here, it has clouds over the east end of Long Island and parts of the Jersey Shore. This is the NAM, and then it rolls a lot more of the clouds in on over Long Island for now. This would kind of suck the NAM solution, being that the only areas of sun would be northern New Jersey and the Hudson Valley, and then the rest of us would be stuck with overcast skies. And then for Friday, we start off with maybe a little bit of sun, and then the NAM kind of clouds it right back up again. This is the NAM model now, right? So let me go to the RGM model. We also have the 0Z RGM model in, so we can look at this as well with the clouds. It's tricky for tomorrow because there will be some clouds, I think, that are going to park themselves over the eastern part of Long Island. The question is, how far west do they get? This is the morning, and you can see they try to make a more westward progress over Long Island from by midday. They're already over most of Long Island, but New Jersey is still dealing with mostly sunny skies at 18Z. So it's really difficult. It all depends on that wind direction, because if the wind is northeast, it could blow the clouds more westward. And I'd have to actually look at the wind direction on this and see. It does have a northeast flow. So it has a northeast flow, but for whatever reason, it's sort of got the clouds over Long Island there. It's really, really tough. Literally, it has clear over Connecticut. It just has the clouds over Long Island. And then later on, we have the cirrus coming in. So this is very, very tricky, to say the least. And this is Saturday, by the way. Now, according to the Argent, we might get a break of sun on Saturday. But tomorrow is a little tricky with the sky. It really is very tricky because we have this little disagreement here with the models going on, which is making it hard to make a forecast, basically, with the sky. And I have to actually go to another model, a couple of other models. Let me go to Ventu Sky here. This is another model we can use for the sky for tomorrow, and we have to move this date up to the 28th, and we have to look. All right, 9 a.m. It's got western part all around clear, and like a little cloud bank over the Jersey shore, and then it kind of just advances the clouds westward. It doesn't really clear us out at all. It just has the clearing over the Hudson Valley. So it seems like it wants to be stubborn with the clouds. This is the HRRR model now. All right, so now we go to windy.com and we'll look at the European model. It's really going to be like a wake up and see situation and see what is going to happen. Here's your storm, by the way. That's going to move away. Still spinning out there. But let me go to the clouds on this and see how the European handles this. So here we are, 8 a.m. has with the western, most Long Island clear except for the South Fork, and then it sort of tries to retrograde those clouds westward, and that's what we're going to have to watch out for, this retrograding cloud deck, and see if it makes it into New Jersey or Long Island. It's very hard because the positioning is all different on all of these. So it's like literally you're going to have to get up and you're going to have to see whether we're going to have a clear day or not, or whether we're going to have these clouds around on Long Island. Right now, looking at this, it looks like most of our area will be clear. But we're going to have to see. It's going to be challenging. If we get lucky, we can have a nice clear day tomorrow for at least until the late afternoon. If not, we're going to have to deal with a lot of clouds. So it's disagreement on that. And then once we get to Friday, obviously, we're dealing with more clouds again. Hopefully, we can get a clear sky tomorrow. Hopefully, we can make it happen, at least somewhere in the New York metropolitan area, so we can get outside and enjoy the weather and take a walk before the next storm arrives. So I think that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care, and thanks for watching.